This is part 2. If you've yet to see part 1, check out the link in the description for part 1. Alright, welcome to part 2 of 1995. We finished up part 1 with Government Mule. Next up we have another debut album. I do believe he put some sort of a demo album out before this. This fellow's name is Elliott Smith. Most of you probably haven't heard of him. He's famous for having done one song on the Good Will Hunting soundtrack. Miss Misery was the name of that song. This is his debut album, and it sounds like a demo. Most of the stuff on this album is just him and an acoustic guitar and a very raw, stripped down album. Very sparse playing. There's not a lot of flash to the stuff he's doing. This is all about the lyrics and the delivery and the emotion and the feeling that he puts into these songs. If you haven't heard him, at least go give him a listen. Next up, another overlooked album for most people. Ben Harper came out with his second album. First one was last year. Fight for Your Mind. If you haven't heard this album, you need to go check it out. Ben Harper is a talent that's just very unique. He's got a unique singing style. He's got a unique playing style. He plays a unique instrument. He's just a really, really interesting dude. I saw him live, and he put on a great show. Fight for Your Mind is a little bit more focused, I think, maybe, than the debut album, and it just gets better from him. His next album is a good one too. Anyway, that's it. Go listen to Ben Harper. Next up, we have the Red Hot Chili Peppers, an album called One Hot Minute. This is after their massively successful Blood Sugar Sex Magik album. So successful that the guitar player, John Frusciante, kind of went a little bit off the rails and left the band. They replaced him with from Jane's Addiction. His name has just escaped me. I'll put it down here because I've forgotten it. And they put out the only album they put out with him playing guitar, and it's different from everything else they've ever put out. It just sounds different, and I think it's the influence of him. It's well worth a listen. I think it's got some great stuff on it. I was very excited when that album came out. Really good stuff. Next up, we have Dream Theater, Change of Seasons. This is an interesting album. This song was supposed to be on their last album, but it's like a 20-minute opus, Change of Seasons, the song. So it wouldn't fit on the last album. The record company's like, we need you to put an album out. We need you to put an album out. They didn't have enough material put together for a complete album that went along with that song when the record company was busting down their door. So they put out this album that's got that song on it and about 6 or 7 covers, and a kind of a medley of covers is one of those. And it is a list, very much like that Annie Lennox album. It is a list of some of the most cool songs to cover. I mean, you never hear anybody else cover these songs. And Dream Theater is a band that could do it. And they called it an EP. They didn't want to call it an album because they didn't want anybody to think that they chose it was like, no, there's something special or different or something about this. But anyway, Dream Theater, Change of Seasons. Next up, we've got Son Volt, which is Jay Farrar, who is the offshoot from Uncle Tupelo that I mentioned when I talked about the Wilco album earlier. He put out an album as a band called Son Volt called Trace. And you can hear Uncle Tupelo in his voice. I mean, sounds just like stuff they put out. But you had Wilco and Son Volt kind of split off from that great band and produced 2 great bands in their own right. If you haven't heard that, go check it out. some good stuff on it. Next up is an album that I wore out in 1995. There's still some songs on it that I can enjoy listening to today, but No Doubt, Tragic Kingdom. I just love that album. I thought it was fantastic. Next up, we've got Ozzy, Osmosis. This is the album that he did after he returned from not having retired from music, like he said he was going to retire from music after the No More Tears album. And he's still got Zakk Wylde with him on this project, and there's some good stuff on it. It's Ozzy, it's Zakk, it's worth a listen. Next up, we have this huge album, both in scope and popularity, from the Smashing Pumpkins, called Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. It's a big double album, just full of great music. I loved the way the Smashing Pumpkins sounded in their heyday, and this album is probably right up there among the best thing they've ever done. Some good stuff on it. Take you a while to listen to it, but it's worth it. Next up, we have another debut album, another prog album. This is a Swedish progressive metal band called Flower Kings. They were part of that whole new prog movement that I talked about earlier. They got an album called Back in the World of Adventures. And it doesn't take very long listening to this album before you realize these guys are good. There's some really, really good stuff on this album. And they've put out, I don't know, a ton of albums since then. They're a mainstay of the newish prog scene. They're definitely among the, upper echelon of this kind of music. They're great. Next up, we've got Alice in Chains. This was a sad album because this was the last thing that happened from them before Lane Staley, did what Lane Staley did. And I think it was 16 years after this before Jerry Cantrell put any new Alice in Chains music out. But this album's good. It was Alice in Chains. They put very little stuff out during that first run. I think three albums and an EP or something like that. But this is well worth listening to. Next up, another great album from a solo female artist, Amy Mann. I'm with Stupid. You either like her or you don't. I happen to just love her voice, her writing, her music, everything about it. Really good. I'm with Stupid. Another one that I played the daylights out of when it came out that year is Melissa Etheridge, Your Little Secret. I think she's a fantastic songwriter, a great singer. I just like it. Next up is another one of those. This album, if you want to go listen to it, ask me and I'll find a link to it on YouTube. It is not easy to find this album. It's by a band called Ningen Isu. It's a Japanese band, and the album title, best I can do, is Otaru Isabuchi. It means something like little clown or something like that, or little chair, or I can't remember. These dudes, they're a three-piece band from Japan that initially got a lot of their inspiration from seeing Kiss. They're better than Kiss. They're a cool band. If you've never heard Ningen Isu, look them up. They got some cool stuff. The only problem is the only thing you can find about this band in their music on Spotify, YouTube, wherever, everything is in Japanese. Everything about this band is in Japanese. They sing in Japanese. They sing in kind of a language that not many people in Japan speak anymore. It's kind of an ancient version of some dialect or something like that. So it's very interesting. Even to Japanese people, it's very interesting what they're doing. But okay, the last one on this list is another debut album. It's another progressive powerhouse by a band called Spock's Beard. The name of the album is The Light. And if you make it I don't know, a minute into this album without just going, wow, yeah, something's wrong with you if you don't make it. Yeah, anyway, Spock's Beard, Neil Morris and his brother, just a fantastic, fantastic album. And they've done a bunch of other stuff. They've been a part of a bunch of different projects. They're part of this whole new prog movement that started, 30-ish years ago and has just built up steam. There's so much good stuff in that genre. That one is a good one. Spock's Beard, The Light. All right, so what's my favorite one from this year? Hands down, Government Mule. They became one of my favorite. They're my favorite band of the last 30 years, absolutely without question. They're probably my favorite band of the last, going back to the 80s, early 80s even. They're just a killer three-piece. Now they're a four-piece band, but they've been through all kinds of stuff. Warren Haynes on guitar, Alan Woody on bass, Matt Apps on drums on this particular album. Just killing it. I remember when this album came out, I found it at a little record shop, CD shop called CD Connection in Huntsville, Alabama. I was like flipping through stuff and came across that. And I was like, what is this? Flipped it over, it said Warren Haynes, Alan Woody, and I was like, sold. Saw them live like 2 months after that. There's a live show on YouTube that they played 2 days after I saw them live. The Cotton Club in Atlanta. They were just so powerful and energetic and such a great live show. There's still that, but those early years were something special. That album, for whatever reason, has been out of print. You can't find it anywhere. You can find it on YouTube. If you look it up, you can run across it on there. It's not on like Spotify or Apple Music or anything like that anymore. But anyway, there you go. 1995. Some really good stuff. More than I remembered when I started this video. Good stuff on there. Go check some of it out. Enjoy your music. Enjoy yourself. Share some new music with people you think might like it. Just go do the thing, man.